The house stood like a predator in the twilight, its windows hollow, staring. Eva froze at the threshold, a strange hum pulsing in her chest. Not sound, but a warning. Her deaf world was silent, always had been. But this silence was different. It clawed at her. Alive, hungry. She stepped inside. The door slammed shut behind her, as if the house had chosen her. The air thickened, watching her every move. A chill whispered through the space. You don't belong. This was her inheritance, unwanted. Her grandmother, a cold, distant figure, had left her this house, a place Eva had never known, yet somehow it felt like it knew her. Her fingers grazed the wall, stirring up decades of dust. A faint symbol, jagged and unnatural, stared back from the wood. Her breath caught. It wasn't just a mark, it was a message. Eva had lived in silence her entire life. It had been her refuge, but this silence was something else. A void, a weight crushing her ribs. It wasn't peace, it was a cage. She wanted to run, to escape this suffocating fresh start, but something, unseen and insistent, held her in place. The house was a crypt. No photos, no warmth. Built by her grandmother's ancestors, it held only shadows and secrets. Wandering its endless halls, Eva felt the silence tighten around her like a noose. Was it the house doing this? Or was her own mind starting to unravel? In the study, she discovered a bookcase, untouched by time. Behind it, a hidden wall, carved with symbols, ancient and pulsing. Her heart raced. She reached out, trembling, and traced them until one word burned hot under her touch. Scream. It wasn't etched. It bled. A command. A curse. Her vision blurred. The room tilted around her. Was she losing her mind? The silence roared, louder than anything she had ever experienced, mocking her deafness. She stumbled back, gasping. Her body screamed at her to run, but her mind whispered, stay. Days bled into one another. The house watched her with unseen eyes. Shadows flickered where they shouldn't. At night, Eva lay awake, heart pounding, questioning her sanity. Was the house alive, or was she simply breaking? The silence was no longer an absence. It was a presence. Symbols began to appear everywhere, on doors, in mirrors, scratched into her dreams. They hissed in her mind. You are not enough. Her grandmother's voice echoed from the forgotten corners of her memory, a ghost from childhood. This house silences everything. Eva had thought it was about her deafness, her isolation. Now she feared it meant something far worse. One night, the basement door called to her. The air grew heavy, alive with dread. Her hand shook as she gripped the handle and descended into the darkness. The basement reeked of rot and forgotten things. In one shadowed corner, beneath a blanket of cobwebs, lay a journal, her grandmother's. The pages crumbled in her hands as she read. The cult built this house to trap what they couldn't kill. They stole their children's voices, their souls, to feed it. But it's never satisfied. It wants more. Nausea rolled through her. Her deafness wasn't by chance. It was a mark, a legacy of sacrifice. She was the last of their bloodline, their prey. The silence pressed harder, whispering all her doubts. You're weak, voiceless, nothing. But somewhere deep inside, something cracked open. Anger, fire. She slammed the journal shut. This house had crushed everyone who had come before her. It would not crush her. With a knife in hand, Eva stormed into the study. The symbols on the wall glowed, mocking her. Scream pulsed like a heartbeat under her skin. She raised the blade and carved over it, defiant, burning a new word into the wall. Live, the house screamed, a sound she could not hear, but felt in her bones. The symbols flared, then faded. A shadow flickered in the corner, humanoid, eyeless, before vanishing into nothing. The silence shattered. Eva stood tall, the knife gleaming in her hand. The house had tried to steal her voice, her soul, but she was more than its curse, more than her fears. She stepped outside as the first light of dawn broke over the horizon. The hum was gone, and for the first time in her life, her silence was truly her own. She wasn't just a survivor, she was free. Looking back at the house, she thought of her own silences, her fears, her insecurities. They weren't her cage anymore. She had faced the dark and found her voice, and so could anyone.